Okay, hopefully you have all tried this problem. Please take note the right-hand side is already equal to 0. So I can make that little table of the opposite of b, b squared, 4ac, 2a, negative 5, 25, 4 times 5 times negative 11 is negative 220. And 2a is 10. So plugging into the quadratic formula, and if you want you can write it down. I didn't write it down over here, but x is equal to the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. X is equal to negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus a negative 220 all over 10. X is equal to negative 5 plus or minus the square root of, that's going to be 245 all over 10. So we need to figure out a perfect square that goes into 245. Let's see. 245 divided by 245 is, this one's a little tougher. So, and we're only continuing here if we want to get the exact simplified form. If all you need is the decimal, you could use this. 245 is 49 times 5. I always like to list the perfect square first. So this is x is equal to negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 49 times 5 all over 10, and then we're going to break it apart at that multiplication. X is equal to negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 49 times the square root of 5 divided by 10. The reason I list the perfect square first is I know the square root of 49 is x is equal to negative 5 plus or minus 7 square root of 5 all over 10. And by the way, I did use my calculator to figure out what perfect square went into 245. So, now if we want, this is the exact simplified form. So, but if we want to get the calculator, the approximate answers, negative 5 minus 7 square root of 5 all over 10, and I'm going to put the numerator in parentheses, or x is equal to negative 5 plus 7 square root of 5 all over 10. I'm going to put the numerator into parentheses, and then use my calculator. So in parentheses, let me just make sure you can see it. I'm putting negative 5, remember the negative button is down here, minus 7 square root of 5. I'm going to close the numerator, close my parentheses, divided by 10. So that is x is approximately equal to negative 2.07, or x is approximately equal to, open parentheses, negative 5 plus 7 square root of 5, all divided by 10. So approximately 1.07. So this is an example where the square root simplifies. The next set of examples we're going to deal with is the square root simplifies and the whole fraction simplifies.